Sodexo brought it to our attention that there was quite a bit of food waste, which makes sense because we had these trays available, and for students who are paying top dollar for a meal plan, they want to make sure they're getting their money's worth. While students may not, understand the importance of cutting costs, it will affect them because the price of their meal plans will be increased. Campuses across the country were getting rid of trays completely. It's a simple idea with profound consequences.
A lot of the students expressed a concern of the amount of waste that was being generated each meal period by just seeing how much food that was going into the dishroom area, and they approached us to try to come up with some ideas on how to reduce the waste.
So there were challenges, of course, like with implementing any idea. You always take risks. But one thing that I admire about Sodexo is they took calculated risks. Before we implemented anything, they surveyed the students. They compiled data, analyzed it, in terms of determining best practices.
We worked with student government in the Green Tower to advertise to students that this was going to be happening. We did a test period last April just to see how it went, and so far from that, student feedback for that entire week was positive. Last semester, we put a lot of marketing materials up across campus just to remind students that it was going to be coming. And I think it was the awareness itself that helped us, so it wasn't a surprise when students came back.
While initially, people were a bit apprehensive about it, over time, the benefits of it, spread, like wildfire, and students were right on board. So, so far so good.
Food reduction, as far as food waste, has gone about 1,500 pounds a week less than we had before trays were taken away. And the second is beverages. On the average, we're averaging about 115 gallons of less beverages each week. We're saving about 22,000 gallons of water a week simply because we're not washing trays. It would be the equivalent of filling the Babson swimming pool 3 times over. The other energy saving is in electricity, the electricity to run the dish machine. We're saving about 13,000 kilowatts a week in electricity, which is equivalent to the lighting of a house for 2.5 houses for an entire year. The other advantage of going tray-free is that we use less chemicals because the dish machine doesn't have to work as hard. That relates to better water for the town as far as detergents and chemicals going into the sewer systems. It also helps as far as the amount of disposable food waste that eventually ends up into a processing plant which generates methane and other gases into the atmosphere.